pull up a chair, and we're going to talk about another friend coming to us all the way from Illinois. Got a couple things to say. Yep. And but before we get to him, let's go ahead and roll the intro. I love this song. Here we go. Welcome to Wheelchair Wednesday. All right, y'all, let's welcome into the show Mr. Jason McGee. What is up, my friend? Oh, nothing much. Another day, another beautiful dollar. You know, spent on what I should be spending on is new equipment. It's funny, every time we start, we got something going on. It's like a thing with the reoccurring theme, and I don't do it on purpose. So thanks for being patient with me and getting this thing going. How have you been today, sir? What's what's new with you?
Dealing with a tooth infection, but other than that, just another day.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Now, first, when we open this up, I normally just say, introduce yourself, tell people who you are, and the number one question I have is, what happened to make you in a wheelchair? Like, how, what was the deal with that? Go ahead.
All right, my name is Jason. I'm going to be 47 this year. On August 7th of 1996, I was diving into a swimming pool. We had half above, half below, and we'd always run, jump off the deck, over the 3 foot into the 8, and I missed it once. My hands cleared, but my head didn't. So my 320-pound body slammed on my head and exploded the 5th vertebrae in my neck.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No. It knocked me unconscious, and I woke up at the bottom of the pool.
How long ago was that?
It'll be 30 years in August.
Okay, dang, 30 years. So you've been down for a long time then.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, you've been in the wheelchair mafia for, so some would say, a generation.
Almost twice as long as I was walking.
Right. So you've kind of seen the, I guess, the gradual steps of like trying to make stuff accessible in your area, like stuff that, you know what I mean? Like, it's, man, I can only imagine
how big the spinal cord community has grown since when I broke my neck. It was unheard of, and now I can't remember the statistics, but it's multiple people a day join our community.
Right. Absolutely. No, you're right. Somebody came up with like a joke. It was like, it's the only gang where the initial, the jump in is non-voluntary. It just happens, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Lifelong member.
Yep, lifelong member. You got it. So number two, I'm going to ask you about being in this chair, and you've been in it for a long time. What would be your biggest pet peeve about being in a chair?
The same as most. When people grab the back of the chair and start pushing you.
Yeah, that's one thing where a lot of people get the fold down things now. They give you to where you can fold them down.
Yep, I have people that still pop them up and push.
Oh, hell no.
Especially in the medical community. They seem even worse about it.
Oh, like if you're at a hospital or something and they're like, here, let me help you.
Doctor's office, nurses, any of them.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine, like, I'm in a power chair, so it's like when I use a power chair to get around, it's a little harder for them to try to push, but like I get a lot of people opening doors and like stuff like that, which I guess I don't really mind. You know what I mean? It's whatever. But to be in the manual and to be pushed around all the time, I would be like, dude, I got it. Almost like put a sign on the back that says "Do not touch" or something.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a big guy. Like I don't look like a quad. I look like a pretty good sized para, and so it doesn't look like I need the help to push.
Right.
And obviously, I wheeled myself into wherever I'm at, and they don't understand how infuriatingly disrespectful that is.
Right. What's your biggest fear, do you think?
I had several. Like, one was ending up in a nursing home, and then what was it, 2 years ago now? Almost 2 years ago, I had some pain in my leg that we thought it was nerve pain that was so bad that they were hitting me with maximum dose tizanidine, benzodiazepines, Oxycontin, so much to where I ended up dying from just pain and just misery. And
Right.
then I ended up in a nursing home. So I got to experience dying. I got to experience being in a nursing home. I had never had to wear an adult diaper. I was forced to wear one when I was there. Like, so I had to go through a lot of those things. So at this point in my life, I don't have fears now. Everything is was going to happen.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, the initial, because I don't know, I guess we all go through it in some way or another, but like the initial breakdown is like almost and everything where you got to build yourself back up from where you break down at. And there's only so far you can get broken down to where you're like, okay, I realize this is my life now. This is what I have to do.
And honestly, after 30 years, you're going to have it happens multiple times. Like when I first got hurt, I was paralyzed from the neck down, couldn't move anything, couldn't lift my arms, and then I built myself back up, and then I got an infection in my knee, and then so I had to fight my way back every time they ended up doing debridements, and then end up losing the leg, and then had to build myself back from that. And so you get knocked down over and over, but you don't have a choice. You can either sit there and wallow in it or just build yourself back up.
Right. Absolutely. Next question for you is, what about dating, love, marriage, stuff like that? Where do you find yourself with that? You got yourself a significant other?
Yes, I'm currently married, very happily.
Nice. Let me give you one of these for that. Yep.
And we met after the chair. I dated over 30 years, lots of different people. The chair didn't slow me down at all.
Right. That's cool. Where did you guys meet at?
MySpace.
Oh man, I used to love MySpace.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give you that no more. MySpace used to give you the cool page with the music you could put on there, and like they had these cool little effects you could use. Oh man, it was so sweet. I can't even remember what mine was, but it was dope.
Hours pimping your page out.
Hours, yeah. Almost like your car or your room or anything else, you know what I mean?
Deep in AOL chat rooms looking for a code to be able to alter your background.
Bro, ASL. Motherfuckers are like, what's ASL? I don't understand what that is. Like, oh, you don't even know, dog. That's for old people to get down on. So you met on MySpace. Was she from the same spot that you live in?
Springfield. We dated for a while, and then we parted ways, stayed friends, and then we came back together 2014. No, 2016. 17. And then we've been together since.
Nice. Heck yeah. Now, when you get married, did you guys do like a big wedding, or did you just do like a kind of quick get it done?
Small wedding in our backyard.
Nice. That's kind of what I imagine.
Ancient tree that we got married underneath.
Nice. Yeah, I always think like, probably do the cheapest thing or whatever, but like the house, man, if you got a decent house and you're happy there and you can fit a few people there, why not?
It was very small. It was the close family, like maybe 20 people at most.
No, it was not even a dozen people.
Oh, it wasn't even a dozen people.
Nice. Less drama that way too.
Yeah.
Been to plenty of weddings with tons of drama. Left early at all of them. Something you wish you could do now that you can no longer do. Besides the obvious.
Run through the woods. Like fix stuff around the house. Like,
right. Just little things you miss doing.
Yeah. Things that I absolutely know how to do that I can picture my body doing, but I can't.
Yeah, it's so annoying when something happens and it like a shower head breaks or something and you're like, damn it. And you know you can get up there and fix it, but you just got to get up there. That's the thing. Or something like that.
Standing. Yeah. 6'5" standing. And so when there's something high up that I know I could just stand and grab it. But at this point, after 30 years, it's harder and harder to you accept it more, and so the dwelling on the what you can't do anymore gets less.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And if it doesn't, you'll destroy yourself.
Right. Yeah, you got to learn to let it go, man. It's one of the biggest things is learning to let it go, and just kind of moving on and worrying about what you can worry about. Now, what about If you could fix one thing about your paralyzed body, what would it be?
Love to have my leg back.
Now, how did the amputee come? Like, did we talk about that yet? I don't think we did yet. How did that happen?
No. I used to never wear shoes, and I end up, I'd always have the blister on the bottom of my foot. Well, it would, you don't wear shoes, keep it clean, it would heal back up, it'd be fine. Well, I ended up getting some necrotic tissue, and then so I would sit cross-legged. Well, when I would do that, I'd put extra pressure on the other foot and then the outsides of each knee. Well, then I end up just trading 4 sores over and over. Well, the one on the right knee ate through, and then end up a sore on both sides to where the doctor could touch his fingers, and he put it in on both sides. And then so the joint slowly got ate away, and then they took the knee joint out, and then but left the leg, and then it just got filling up with pus. And so I'd have to get a major surgery at least once or twice a year, where they would open it up, clean it out, pack it full of antibiotic beads, stitch me up, give me IV antibiotics for a couple months. And so it gave me some time to get to where I could accept needing to lose the leg, but it was miserable.
Oh man, I can imagine. That's it's something that you don't really think of, like, especially when you're like in a wheelchair and you're like, well, can I don't use my legs or whatever, who cares? But when you get a sore or something like that and you have to be aware of that thing all the time, it's, for one, that's a pain in the ass just to do it. For two, it's like, if something like that happens, it's like, well, damn, now what? You know what I mean? And I always said, why can't we just get rid of my legs, just chop them off, and then I can move around a lot easier. And they're like, you don't want to do that. I'm like, I don't know. Probably not, but it sounds all right. But no. I can't imagine. So now, you're what? You have your right leg?
I have above the knee right leg amputation, and then half of my left foot is gone. So I don't have any toes on my left foot.
Damn. So even if you could stand back up, it wouldn't be. You'd have to have prosthetics and other things to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. That sucks.
What really sucks is after my accident, I went from not being able to stand or anything to I was able to stand with a walker and then walk. It was a good 50 yards with a walker, but public aid said that wasn't enough progress because I couldn't be totally fixed within 6 months, and so they stopped therapy. And then so I was trying to walk on my own and tore my meniscus and then destroyed any of my chances of walking.
Oh, God.
Because if they can't fix this in 6 months, then they consider it long-term therapy when we should be having continual therapy for stretching and strengthening to recover.
And see, that brings up a whole nother argument about the healthcare system as a whole for rehabilitation and people that need things, but because of certain circumstances they won't offer or they won't give it to you or whatever. I just think it's bullshit. It's all about money, I think, in the end. You know what I mean? It's all about money. And if they think that they're not going to get enough off you or whatever, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't know. Some people are different. Some places are different, but I think it all boils down to that. You know what I mean?
Well, an insurance company job is to make money.
Right.
And they're never going to make what they put into us back, so they don't want to give us those things because they won't get their money back from us.
Right. Tomasa said half her right foot is gone. 100% agree. Yep. So this is a live show. If anybody wants to talk or ask questions, feel free. Comment on the side. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching. So besides that, what else do you have for pain? What kind of pain do you have?
Shoulders are constantly in pain. I have a frozen shoulder that just does nothing but pop and grind.
Oh gosh.
And then my other shoulder, it's angry. And then I have the what we thought was nerve pain was actually that big muscle that goes around your foot, the plantar fasciitis, was spasming so hard that it was squeezing those bones in my foot, and that's what was causing the pain. And the only way I found that out is they gave me the injection of baclofen into your spine to test for the baclofen pump. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I had relief in that foot in several years. And then now I use regular oral baclofen, and then I stretch it. but that pain is constantly there too.
What milligram of baclofen are you on?
I do 10 milligrams 3 times a day, and then 20 milligrams at night.
I do 10 3 times a day as well. And I know when it's like when you don't take it, like that 10 milligrams, like you'll know it. Like I'll start getting these like jolts through my legs, like go to the bottom of my feet, and it's like it's not painful, but it's annoying as hell.
I get the shaky hands where the hands start going really fast.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like I hear all these. It's. I say this all the time.
And I'm trying to make it happen. It's not doing it.
Well, it's like, you know, as a para, you know, you have these problems, but then you talk to quads, and they're like, yeah, but then this happens, and you're like, oh shit, I couldn't imagine that. You know what I mean? Like, and then you talk to people that are like legit neck, can't move anything, and it's like, oh fuck, dude, like, you know. So it's crazy, man. Like the human body is nuts, but I still believe, like in my heart of hearts, this is just, we're in this world. We have one life, but it's. I think we're in this world for more than just this life. It's almost like a proving ground. I don't know. You can believe what you want to believe, but I think that we're this way for a reason, and that our souls will move on after this body's done and whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know if we'll get a new body or what'll happen afterwards, but I died too myself. I've died and I've seen my family. Like at the light at the end of the tunnel, I couldn't hear them, and they were telling me, "Not yet, not yet, stop, not yet." And I was like, "What?" And then next thing I know, I'm like telling my family about it, and they're like, I didn't remember that for a long time, and it had to like come back in my mind, and I was like, what in the world? Weirdest thing. Sidetrack, sorry about that, but anyway.
When I woke up at the bottom of the pool, I on my way back up, I couldn't move anything, but somehow I was able to swim to the top of the water.
Mm-hmm.
On the way back up, I was looking myself in the face. I was looking at my own eyes on the way up.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I was so freaked out that I couldn't look in a mirror for, I think it was 6 months. Because I didn't want to see my own eyes again, because I know that I was looking into my own eyes on the way up from the bottom of the pool.
That's crazy, man. It's. I think there's other things that work around us that we have no idea about every single day. You know what I mean? I don't know. People call it your aura, your safety spirits, your guiding lights, your, I don't know, spirit animals. Call it what you want. Moving on. I know sometimes we sidetrack on the show. It's fun. You know what I mean? We don't necessarily got to stick to the questions.
That's what makes it good.
Right. What do you think the one thing is that helped you the most, like after your injury, after you got injured, the first like year or two? What do you think was the biggest thing that helped you?
Sense of humor. I'm constantly joking about myself. Like, if I shit myself, I shit myself, and you know, I don't shy away from it. You know, I make fun of it. I make fun of myself.
I call it Code Brown.
Yeah.
Code Brown.
And so, because if you don't laugh at yourself, then you start beating yourself up, and the more you beat yourself up, the more we have enough darkness to deal with. You don't need to add extra.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's all about when you wake up in the morning. It's, you know. For me, it's like, what can I do today? What am I going to accomplish today? Let's have a good day type deal. Be positive. Like, the more positivity you feed yourself, the more positivity you're going to get out of the world. And the more negative you feel and the more negative you put into the world, the more negative is going to come out of it. You know what I mean? From my personal experience.
I mean, and when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're cleaning up a shit mess, you know, in the shower, cleaning your chair up, the shower up, you can either laugh about it, cry about it, or whatever. I'd rather be laughing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And to have somebody with you that's helping you, right? Like those people are the real unsung heroes as well, because it's like they're right with you through the trenches. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, what about traveling? You ever go anywhere?
Yeah. Flying sucks. Like I said,
yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
do
a small
that.
guy, and they put you on that little Hannibal Lecter chair. And you know, strap you in and try to slide.
Hannibal electric chair. That's a good one. I never heard that before.
And if you dare leave, like I left the Springfield airport one time, and they put you on that chair, and they don't take you up a terminal. They lift you up the stairs of the plane. And like if my dad hadn't been there, I would have tipped and then landed on my face, going up the plane.
Oh damn.
But that was in my younger years. Since I'm older, no, I'm not doing the plane thing again. That's horrible. Having them try to pick you up and put you in the chair and then take you out. back when I first flew back in the day, they would let me sit in the front chair. Now they make you pick whatever chair they pick, and like we flew to Florida, and I had to sit in the middle chair. So they not only did they take me like halfway down the plane, I had to then scoot sideways over.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. I don't see why. I think that every plane should allow people to bring in their wheelchairs, and I think that, you know, even if it's a power chair, manual chair, I think a power tool, because I don't know, I look at it like driving a vehicle, right? So my vehicle, I can strap in with my power chair. That's really one of the reasons why I stay in my power chair, because I'm in my van all the time. We're moving around. I'm driving around. I think they should have a system on each plane where they have like 3 power chairs on each plane that can snap in. And if you need a power chair, you can transfer out of your chair, get into their power chair, snap into the plane, and be good to go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see why it's that hard. They should have their own little parking rows right next to each other.
Or just designated wheelchair seating that's up front.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be so simple, but I don't know. They make it so difficult, and I think they're getting better at it. But it's just, I don't know. I have no at all inkling or reasoning or want to fly or go anywhere. Anywhere that I want to go is within driving distance. You know what I mean?
Well, since there's more people getting injured, there's more people of different economic classes that are getting hurt. So, like originally, most poor people, most of us are poor. We can't afford to go places, so it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Well, now there's a lot of the middle and upper class that do go on vacations that have injured family members or injured themselves. They're going to start making those changes only because now there's a demand from a higher class, money class.
Right. Yep. Makes sense. Makes you wonder.
I think that's why there's more accessibility now than there was before, is because now there's more demand coming from the upper middle class.
Right. Yep. Let me ask you this. If you could go back and not dive into that pool and snap your freaking spine all crazy, would you do it? Or would you stay where you're at now? Now, granted, you do that, you're on that path. Totally different than where you're at today. What would you do?
I love where I'm at now. Like, having a body that doesn't hurt would be kind of cool, but I would also probably have been an asshole that would have done something different. So, having to change the way I did things and my perspective on life, you can't learn those lessons as an able body.
And you know what's funny is, I've done this, like I said, I've done a lot of these interviews, man, and I've heard a lot of these stories, and probably over 85 to almost 90% of people would not go back. They would stay where they're at. And I think that tells us something. It's like, when this happens to you, you learn valuable life lessons that you would never know besides that. You take for granted things you never realize you take for granted, and it's like, it makes you look at life a whole new way, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate it more, I believe, you know what I mean? Now what about hobbies? What do you do for fun?
Right now, cook. I've had multiple hobbies throughout the years. I'm getting into woodworking, but I'm needing help getting my shop set up. So that's on the horizon, but right now, cooking is my jam.
When did you start cooking? When you was younger?
Yeah. Didn't have grown-ups around to cook for me, so I had to learn to cook on my own. And then been doing it ever since. And then when I first got hurt, after being hurt, trying to cooking, off the side of the stove is really hard. So I would, use things like the Ninja Foodie. But then my wife has a hot plate, and then we put it on the table and started cooking on the table, and then now I can use regular pans. It's enjoyable again.
Oh damn, yeah. That's one thing that I was thinking about cooking is it's hard to get on the stove because you got to go sideways and all that shit. You know what I mean? But if you had a hot plate with a table, you could just set everything up right there and just boom, boom. You know what I mean? Fit right on there. Everything's right at your reach. That's a good idea. Never thought about that.
We put the hot plate on the table, and then I can put the blender on the table or the mixer, and then the pressure cooker foodie thing is, right off to the side. And then we have a toaster oven that's up on the counter height that I can get things in and out easier.
Nice. Heck yeah. I personally just get into, I don't know. I play video games. I get bored of that. I do something else. I start collecting stuff. I did clocks for a while, sold clocks, and now I'm into sports cards. So I'm collecting, and like right now I haven't sold really anything. I'm just collecting sports cars. I'm getting as many as I can, and then when it's time to go, I'll probably do a Whatnot show. You ever heard of Whatnot?
No.
Oh man, it's so much fun. You gotta be careful though. You get on there, it's an auction site, but it's people like me and you that's just selling their shit or finding stuff. Auctions, storage auctions with storage places they buy and sell. It's pretty fun. Check me out on there, Wheelchair Rick. A little shameless plug on there. Now speaking of food, what about your fitness and diet? Like, what do you do to stay fit? What's your diet like? You're like, hey, you said diet. What are you talking about?
I try to cook healthy, so like cooking like real foods and not processed stuff. I'm trying to be active again. My main thing right now is honestly just getting up out of bed and then trying to do as much of the stuff around the house as I can.
Right.
Like making everything like an OT and PT day of like, you know, you get up, you empty the urinals, you make your bed, you do, you know, just the dishes, just stuff around the house, because that's still, you know, all PT is just movement. And so the more that you do yourself, the more you can keep doing, and just you get more and more spoons the more you keep practicing.
And you know, it's a big thing is like you said, movement, absolutely, because you know, sitting in bed, when you sit in bed and you're not moving around, you're gonna hurt a lot more. And when you're up and you're moving around, it's giving your body less chance to stop and to actually hurt. You're moving muscles, you're working stuff out. And the more you're doing something, you're not focused on your pain. You know what I mean? I've noticed. I tell everybody that. You know, I've noticed that too recently is when I look back on all these memories that we've done so far, the memories don't have the pain in it. You know what I mean? You just remember the memories. So it's like, do what you want to do, but stay moving.
Because honestly, something my brain's always done as a safety mechanism is I can remember like breaking my neck hurt, and them putting in the screws for traction, that hurt, but I don't remember the stint of pain.
Right.
Like I've gone through some horrible amounts of pain in my life, but I don't remember that pain. So pain is fleeting.
Right. Absolutely. Now, what about your chair? Do you have a name for your chair? What type of chair you got?
I have a. Oh God. My first tea light.
Okay. TI light. Yep. Tie light.
Before that, I've had quickies. Don't have a name for it.
No. If you had to name it, what do you think you'd name it?
No clue.
No clue. Oh man.
I think after 6, 7 chairs, we don't get as attached to the naming them.
Yeah, I can see that. It's almost like I was gonna say, it's not really like a dog, because a dog is like you got to give a dog a name, but it's almost like a car or something like that. Like I don't know. Me, I like to customize my stuff, so I name it. I name my cars. I name my, you know what I mean. So like everything I got, I try to give a little name to. But you're right. After you go through a couple of them, it's like, I don't know. The first one I had a couple names for, but I forgot, you know, or whatever. It's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I do. I have a name for everything. It's crazy. Some people do it. I guess some people are just different. Now, the next piece of next question I have for you is really important. What would be the best piece of advice that you could give to somebody who's brand newly injured in a chair? What would be your best? You know what I mean?
Know how to fix your own chair.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like where everyone else is, but trying to find somebody that knows how to fix your chair properly is next to impossible. Most of the time when I have them do something and I get it back, I have to refix what they did. Most of the time when your chair breaks, it's Friday at 5:30 and no one's going to be in the office again until Monday.
Yeah.
So have an extra set of inner tubes, you know, in your closet. Know how to change your tires. Like have a small set of tools, because our chairs are usually all metric, and it doesn't, you know, there's Allen wrenches and then a socket set is pretty much the only thing you need.
Yeah, and you know, especially for the manual chairs, I found are so super easy to work on as long as you know what you're doing. Like, there's literally only a couple things to know: how to take the wheels off, like you said, the tubes, stuff like that. Now, unless you're breaking a spoke or something like that, but I don't see that happening, really, not unless you're going down.
If you're breaking a spoke, have one spare set of tires at least.
Right.
There's no point in if you pop a spoke, just snap it the rest of the way off and keep going.
Right. Yeah, you got plenty more to help you out, and hopefully, maybe. Yeah, for sure. Yep, that's definitely good advice, man. Well, I do appreciate you coming on here, Jason, and hanging out with me and telling us your story. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to leave with?
Focus on your mental health. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, it's important.
And when people ask if you're okay, don't just smile and go yes, because you don't think that they want to hear you complain, but also don't be that person that all you do is complain.
Right. Right.
Because then you'll chase everyone away. But I've done the thing where you shove down all your feelings, and then the next thing you know, you're chasing everyone away because of the ooze that comes up, because you can only keep it down for so long.
Yeah, and that's that's something that I don't think is talked about enough. Is like kind of like your inner health and thinking about your mentality and the way you look at the world and like how you perceive. How you like interject yourself. So like you said, if you come out with anger and everything else, you're gonna push everybody away. Nobody's gonna want to be around you. Then you're just gonna make your own life miserable. So you got to figure out a way to kind of, if you are angry and you need to switch that out, you got to work that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people ask you all the time, how's your recovery coming, but they're talking about physically. They don't check on your mental health. How's your physical therapy coming? You getting your new movement back. It's not how are you coping with being in the chair.
See, and that's another thing too. Also about, so you were in an auto accident. Me being in an auto accident, right? Me being in an auto accident, I get all these other perks that people like you don't get, which it fucking sucks, man. I hate talking about it because it's stupid, but it's there. So if I want to get a therapist, all I gotta do is say the word, and I'll have therapy whenever I want, daily, every other day, every other week, whatever, and they'll pay for it. Somebody like you would have to fucking probably come out of pocket and be like, shit, who knows, $200-300 a fucking session probably.
Because when I broke my neck, it was on my grandfather's land, and his insurance company told me it was an open and obvious danger, so they wouldn't pay anything at all. And if I wanted to any type of settlement, I had to sue him personally. And
wow.
So
your grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather, and so I wasn't going to do that. And I was 17, and we were poor, so I've been on public aid all my life.
Right.
So that's the extent of help I've gotten is from public aid. So nothing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but that's where it all comes back to like your attitude. You know what I mean? The way you live life.
The flap that attaches your backrest to your seat.
Yeah.
That way people don't see your butt crack.
Yeah.
Public aid doesn't pay for that because they consider that a vanity flap. So you don't need it. It's just.
Well, it's just like on my wheelchair, like this Promobile, it's like a pocket. That's considered a vanity. They won't pay for that unless it's like absolutely necessary and you prove to them why it is. And it's like, because I can't get it into my pockets because I'm sitting down on a wheelchair. Are you dumb? Like, come on. Yeah. I don't know. I get real crazy with it. Like, I'll be very, very loud about, you know what I mean? Like, my advocacy, and I really think everybody else should.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to tell a doctor no.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Stand up for yourself.
They shouldn't have taken my foot.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said stand up for yourself. That was a cripple joke. No, but no, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of valid points, man, and see, we could talk about this all day long. I'm gonna do some more shows where I come back and we talk about different stuff, just kind of call them throwbacks or whatever. So you're involved in that along with everybody else. I think I'm just gonna take a wheel and put everybody's name on it and spin it one day, and then we'll just pick that way.
Sounds good.
But yeah, dude, I appreciate you coming through. And stick with me real quick. We're going to get you on the back end. Everybody else, thanks for watching Wheelchair Wednesday. And come check us out next week when we have new guests. Until then, see ya.